I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, going on, going on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Great. So we have 20 participants who have signed up. Uh, Historically, 50% show up. So let's just
Yeah.
wait for
Yeah.
3-4 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
Sure.
So this is the first session, or you had a previous session? Right?
This is a repeat of I've done this session previously also. So basically, this one is a series of 10 sessions. So this is a repeat of first session. So this is where it starts. Hi, Roshni.
Hi,
Hello. Where are you joining us from?
from Nagpur, Deepshika.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay, so we are just waiting for a few more people and we'll start in another 2 minutes or so.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. In the meantime, if you want to introduce yourself, please go ahead. Yeah.
Uh, well, nothing much. I just came across your program
Right.
in this A Livelihood group,
Yeah. Yeah.
which recently I attended. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, I thought it would be interesting, something nice that you're sharing with everyone. So I thought I'll join in.
Yeah. Yeah. It is going to be awesome. And I'll take your feedback again at the end of it. So I'm super excited that you're here. And Krapa is joining us. Can you hear us, Krapa? Okay, let's just see what happens. Let's get started though. And like I said, we have lots more people who have signed up. Hopefully they'll show up. Okay, Krapa is saying, oh, okay, no worries, Krapa. Okay, so let me just share my screen and we'll get started. Okay, everyone. I hope you are able to see my screen and we'll get started with our journals. And I hope you have your journals and pen ready because it's going to be a very hands-on session. So to introduce, my name is Deepshika. I will be your host for the session. This is a 1-hour session and we will be using a futures thinking tool to journal our responses. We are not going to go in depth about the tool. This is the tool that we'll be spending time with. We're not going to go in depth about the tool as such. The tool is going to stay in the background. So if you're not from futures thinking field, don't worry about it. Having said that, if you end up liking this tool, then consider using this in your client presentations or in your conversations with on about a cause or about an industry with your colleagues, your family, anyone. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. I hope everybody has the journal ready because I'm going to give the first prompt. If you could just tell me muting yourself, that would be awesome. Okay. Cool. Okay. So if in your journal, if you can make a structure like this, what you're seeing on the screen are two cones. One cone on the left is points to the past. So this is last 7 years of our life. And the other cone on the right points to the future. So while you are making this diagram, I'll quickly explain what this stands for. So what basically we are going to do and what the intent of the session is to look at our past and see if we can come up with some patterns over there and use those patterns and those aha moments to kind of be more integrated about our past and use that as our input for creating what we want to create in the new paradigm. So the beauty about this tool is, in general, this is used in organizations to map out what the activities your company had been involved in, and then use that patterns and themes to kind of come up with the new initiatives. In this context, it's very helpful because, as we all know, we are in this great shift where things are changing. We're moving from a new paradigm to an old from an old paradigm to a new paradigm. So, and you may have any word for it. It could be from old normal to new normal, could be from Piscean age to Aquarian age, from separation consciousness to unity consciousness, from a very masculine kind of world to a more feminine world. Whatever your for this is, we all know that a shift is coming, right? And this tool would help us at least visually be aware of how we have been so far and how we want to be going forward. So I'm very sure you'll find this tool very helpful. For now, if you have written that, you can write down your age across each of these years. So and let me know if this is not visible. So just write down your age in all of these years, how old you have been, and if you want, you can also write down the age of your partners or kids, depending on or if you are a student, your parents, anybody who you share your life with currently, just write down their age as well if you want to. The main focus is on your age, just to give your perspective on where you were all of these years. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Since we are just us over here, feel free to unmute yourself anytime to raise the hand, and let's keep it interactive. And also, if you have to drop off or anything, feel free to say that and leave. Don't feel obliged. Okay. So 30 seconds, and then I'll give you the next prompt. And if you're done writing the age in this area, just write age in this section. Okay. We have Virti join us. Okay, once you have done that, on the arc, I just want you to think of, hi Virti.
Hello, hi Deepika. This is me, Krupa. I'm logging from my niece's phone
Oh,
so that I
okay.
can use the audio.
Okay. No, it is awesome. Perfect. Now we can hear you. That's awesome. Yay. Great. Okay. So now the next prompt is on this arc that you're seeing in each year. Just write down what life stage were you in that year and wherever applicable. So by life stage, I means anytime you were in that stage of transition, the first year of that. So maybe you were working and then you left your job to study. So from professional to a student, or the other way around. You were a student, you joined your first job, or from having a corporate life to a being self-employed, or you became a parent that year, or you retired that year. Whatever is applicable for you, wherever that first shift was happening, that transition year, you got married. So write those life stages in whichever year it is applicable. Okay, and so I'm going to give you much more time on. So there are three things we want to do parallelly for each year. This section of the cone, the upper and the lower. So I'll keep giving one prompt at a time for short duration. Then I'll give you a big chunk where you can fill all three parallelly. Okay. So the next prompt is in each of these arcs, also fill. So apart from the life stages, now you fill the milestones that happened during this year. So again, examples are you got a promotion, or you achieved some certification, or you got recognized for something. Any of those things, or whatever definition of milestone is, wherever you accomplish something, write that down in those particular years. And so each arc will have more than one entry from you, like lots of entries, 4, 5, whatever applies. So wherever the milestones are coming in your head, just keep writing those down.
Deepshika,
Yes, yes, yes.
can you explain the milestones again? Like, how are they
Yeah.
different from the first things that we wrote?
Right. So the in general, as such, it's not going to make much difference because you're going to write both here. But the reason why I want you to think differently about life stage and milestone is because so life stage we are saying things like basically things that the difference between life stage and milestone is lifestyle basically changes your lifestyle completely. So if you became a parent that year, your schedule would have activities, everything would have changed. If you became a student that year, again everything would look different. Okay, so those kind of transitions we are calling life stages. And milestones are when you accomplish something which was awesome, which maybe opened lots of doors for you, but maybe it didn't create that drastic a lifestyle change. At least your days still look the same. Even if you got a promotion, it changed, but not that much. Is that clear? Or
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. It's clear.
Awesome. Okay. And even if you were not done, we'll come back to it. So the next thing is write down parallel to this again on the same box, wherever in each year, what else was happening in your life at that time. So basically, what we've done is we have first put the bigger things in a year, and then what were the small and other things that were happening in your life that you remember in that particular year, and just keep writing that again in the same arc along this line. Whatever you remember was happening then. These could even be things like the first time you started cooking, or you moved your first rented place, or things like that. Or it could be normal things like you became friends with this person or something, or those kind of things. I'll give some more time on this. Okay, we'll move to the next section of the cone, but do you want more time on this, few more seconds before we shift to the next part, and then we'll join the dots? Okay, I'm going to give 20 more seconds. Keep writing. Just this. Okay, awesome. So now, before I go to the next section, again, which will connect to these years and this thing, just so far, like, did anything stand out for you while you were just filling this part? Were there any ahas or insights that came for you personally? Did you see anything which you weren't observing before, or something like that? Okay. So I'm going to take that as a no. So far, it's all been pretty straightforward in terms of what life had been. Do you want to share something random, cues? Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, please.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so now let's move to the upper part of the cone. And in each year, what was the theme that you observed? So basically, what was the theme that you lived out? So maybe you would call it as an year of celebrations, or year of, maybe it even turned out to be a year of struggles for you, or whatever your words are. uh, Keep writing those down in this square kind of a post-it or square kind of a box. Basically, in each year, you would have lived multiple things. So brainstorm what those words are. What was this year about for you? And keep writing those down in this square thing. And once you've captured, so basically use the square thing to from what themes were. And once you've gotten the gist of what exactly the year was about, capture it in a different kind of a box, a circular box or something. Okay. So again, some my other examples of the themes are, maybe it was a year of getting a lot of support from others, or suppose other way around, that you had to do everything, you didn't get the support that you needed, or the year of like acceleration was a very fast paced year, or whatever your words are, keep writing those down. Okay, so I hope you were able to at least 2 3 years. Like I said, we're going to come back to it. Now I want you to, and again, super quick check in, like, did anybody get any cool insight here? Like just by looking at this part of the section or by connecting this two? We'll get really cool insights once we have done all of it, but just in case something came to anybody while they were filling this. Okay, that's a no then. Okay, so the last section. Now, this section, I want you to fill out what were the choices that drove these changes. So, what were those choices that led to these milestones or these big things that were happening in your life? Examples: maybe you moved to a new city, maybe you decided to marry this person, whatever big choices that you were making that caused all of this momentum for you, or maybe you chose to work for this company or didn't choose to, whatever that was. Okay, and these choices could be those that you willingly made, or these could be something which because of the circumstances you had to make, you decided to make it, other you wouldn't have otherwise made it, only because of the situation you decided it. So maybe a parent fell ill and that influenced your decision in some way, or some those kind of things. So choices willingly made or choices because of circumstances, keep writing those down in each of these years. Now that you have gotten the hang of all the three prompts, let me give you 4 more minutes to now a big stretch of time to properly finish all three together. So try to think of 2020 in all three respect, 2019 in all of these things. You would have filled some of it already, fill all the years, and if you filled for all the years, just try to go deeper, try to remember more. Okay, so you have proper 4 minutes to fill all three sections simultaneously now.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, so I'm saying same, the prompt remains the same. Now, because I made you do that quickly, I want you to now take time and go deeper and do all these three simultaneously. So ideally, you should be looking at, let's say, if you're looking at 2019, start with the curve, then the other two sections as well. So try to think parallelly this time, because I made you think one at a time. Now try to think parallelly. So if your milestone was you got a promotion, then think of what were the choices that led to that part that year. Maybe it was a choice some other year which led to that thing. Chose to work on a certain challenging project which ultimately led to the project, something like that. And so parallelly, think parallelly, that's all. Same prompt, but Mhm.
think you're on mute.
Yes, awesome. So I hope everybody was able to finish that. And now I'm going to call upon all of you. Now is the insight sharing time. So I'm going to call every single person. And please let me know what were the things that stood out for you. And again, these are personal stuff. So you can share as to the level you want to share. But yeah, have there been any insight? What were some of the things that clicked for you while you were filling these? So I think Kripa, I'm going to go with you first.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. For me, one, I feel like I need more time on
Yeah.
many of these things. So,
Right.
I feel I'm going to definitely take more time to fill it. But one
Yeah.
of the main things that came up to me was initially when I started filling out and you were giving us short, like 30 seconds to fill,
Right.
I was only focusing on, my breakup or new relationship or
Right.
moving to a new city, as in things that seem external. But then
Right.
it hit me when I was filling 2018 and 20 that the biggest changes or life sort of milestones haven't been about moving somewhere, but it has been about things that I've learned, or things more internal. So
Right.
I guess for me, it was just a bit of a shift in thinking about how I was looking at my last 7 years in terms of big events. But then
Right.
me that the bigger changes have happened more internally in terms of little things that I've chosen to do or stay away from, and that has sort of defined so many things. So
Yeah. 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 Isn't that a great insight?
yeah,
Amazing.
I
Yeah.
think I would definitely like to spend more time now
Yeah.
rethinking the last 7 years along those lines.
Yes, yes, and that's what happens. Like you'll find a few insights that you would want to go much deeper into, maybe have a conversation about it with someone to integrate it deeper, or just journal it out later. That might help to fully absorb it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but that was amazing. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. And yes, the time you will feel the time is less, because this is one of those tools which you can just, if you do it once properly, then this will stay like a dynamic document for you for the rest of the year. You can paste it somewhere after the session somewhere and keep moving it around when you go about it, because there's a lot to be covered. That's why the time will feel a bit less. But almost all the participants who have done it, they go back. It's kind of a very addictive tool later. So they go back and then they go deeper once they have time, and they go at their own pace. But I was very happy to hear your insight. That was amazing. Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, Rashni, you want to go next?
No, still working on it. Give me
Uh-huh.
next round. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, random cues.
Yeah, mine looks like the most embarrassing thing ever. Something,
Okay.
yeah, not much has happened in 7 years, and things have happened on a personal level as well as in professional way.
Right.
Yeah, so this is good. I mean, it's worked out much more insight, much more things you really you know that's happened, but you don't want to think about it. There are things like that too.
Yeah.
These things have come up. So yeah.
Yeah.
And also one more thing, this software what you are using, Miro. I mean,
Yeah.
is it a free tool? I've never
Yes.
used it.
Yes. I mean, yeah. So this, if you want to use it for yourself, that's free. And if you, so this also works as a collaborative tool. So if you the link, we
Okay.
can all edit it together. Just because this time it's personal,
All right.
so then it's paid. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so do try it. It's a good tool. Yeah, and I'm glad you asked it. Okay, but also from on your inside, I've what I would conclude is, so a lot has happened and professionally in those areas, but maybe there are other areas where the momentum hasn't been that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's good insight. Like the balance is not there in other areas, but it's also kind of natural, because it depends on what life stages we are in, and that's why we started with life stage. Like if we are in that life stage where a career is our main priority, then yes, career would be the driving force which will kind of decide how your other things are happening in your life, and that's all right. Like, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay. So now, what I want you to do is for each of the years, and let me know if you actually. So I thought if you still want few more minutes to do these, if you feel like it, then I'll give some more time. What do you guys think? Or is it okay for now and then we move to the next round?
I'm okay.
Deepshika,
Mhm.
I just wanted to know, so do you want us to like come to some sort of a realization about some sort of pattern which is happening with
Uh,
those three in place, or not yet?
yeah, like if so, basically the point is when you're filling these out, uh, maybe some things will stick out for you, like the things Kripa and Ranamkyu said. So basically, yes, any pattern or any hidden thing that you weren't thinking before comes to your mind. So two, three categories it can play out. One way it can play out is when you were filling the milestone and you fill the other things. Could happen that you remember something that was happening parallelly that you didn't. So an example of it is while I was filling this, I had one of my jobs which was very challenging for me listed over there. So whenever I recall that phase, I recall that, oh, that was a kind of a tough time. It was a good challenging job, great team. But then when I filled out the other things that were happening in my life, I realized that, oh, personally, it was a great year for me. Like a lot of amazing things happened, lots of things which uh, led me, which kind of opened big doors for me and which are consistent in my life. That happened that year. So my perception that, oh, it was a challenging year completely changed because I remembered something. So maybe you will remember something which was happening parallelly. Maybe you'll realize that if you come to the choices part, that there were years when you made lots of big choices, and then there are years when you didn't make that much choices, and that's why the momentum hadn't been that much. So all you had to do is maybe make some choices, take some risks. That could be some of the realizations. There could be realizations like random cues came up. Maybe majority of things are happening in one area. You're focusing just in one or two areas, and then the other areas are not there, and that could easily would have been going on as well. Uh, so these are some of the choices. Also in the themes, people realize again that um, themes part will come again. So I don't want to say it out loud because it would influence your brain. So yeah, so these are some of the things that might happen when you're feeling that.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, so let me give. Shall I give some more time to do this part? And I'll need to hear all from all three of you so that. Uh,
I'm almost done. I
cool.
can move to it.
Yeah, let's go to the next part then. Okay, so let's I will come back to that cone in a bit. Now I want you to just make a like a flower kind of a thing for each particular year, one petal for one year. Each year we're looking at 7 years because of some astrological reason, but you can do as many years you want. Also in a session like this, 7 years is a good cycle. So just make a flower like this and write down years. So 2020 right now so far, and then 2019 to 2014 is what we are looking at. So just keep writing down the year in each petal. And once you've done that, in each petal, write the theme that you wrote in the previous section. What was the major theme that year in one sentence or one word for each of these years. So you're basically copying from the previous section, whatever you captured in the circular post-it, just write that down. And if you're done writing that, again, observe, do you see any trend? And in this one, I particularly want you to look at the trend. Like, were there some ups and okay, one person has joined us. Were there some ups and downs, and were your themes steady, or were there some extremes? Whatever the trend basically is. Okay, I hope everybody was able to do that. Again, random cues, you want to share anything came to your mind when you were doing that?
Not really.
Uh-huh.
See, mine, there is not much that has happened in the last 7 years, except it's almost like an autopilot.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Even that's a problem that I've identified. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, or maybe once you do it, go deeper into it, you'll recall
Yeah.
other things. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So Excel has just joined us. Hi, Excel. Okay, so by the time Excel replies, so we have 17 more minutes before we wrap up the session. So Excel, if you're hearing us, we are in the middle of things, but I hope you'll get the prompts soon. Okay, Roshni, you want to share anything that stood out for you here?
Nothing to openly share about, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on the, what do I say, like on the, the change or the movement started when I let go and I decided to open up to universe and things like
Right.
that. So
Uh-huh.
this is like the current phase of mine.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I really like that insight. And yes, again, everybody don't have to share anything that's personal. So yeah, I had a similar realization that okay, I was a different person before 2014, and then 2015 onwards, I changed dramatically with how I go about things. And that was a realization, oh, that I've been doing that from last 5 years. Uh, I was still identifying myself with the person I was before, but then I realized, oh, it's been 5 years of practicing this new way of being. I'm a different person. So yeah, so I think that's a similar kind of exercise. So before and after kind of a demarcation. That was good. That was amazing. Again, amazing. And if you want to go deeper into that, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to mention when you were talking about, things which happen parallelly.
Mhm.
That's when it struck me that although in the phase of struggle and turmoil,
Uh-huh.
parallelly I did have a lot of support system in place.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I was not really looking into.
yeah.
Yeah, so that came up for me.
Yeah, that was again a good one because it now we're basically looking at things from a bigger picture, like a bigger perspective. So holistically looking at our life, not just looking at one area and one trajectory. So again, these kind of insights when we come to, it feels like a shift within, like it already changes the story inside our head, right? Awesome, awesome. Okay, Krapa.
Well, I feel that for me,
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I'm noticing is how the big changes uh, have kind of taken years to manifest. Like the decisions
Yeah.
may have been taken
Yeah.
in 17, and I've been unsure of those decisions at that point, but
Yeah.
it has led to a certain trajectory, which in 2019 I'm seeing is quite great. So, I mean, just that unlearning.
Yeah, that's again a big one because this kind of insight also helps with the current thing, right? So we keep having this impatience that we want to reach somewhere, but then even for the next round, like we have time, like we are in the middle of we are at the just a start of a transition globally, right? And we'll get time to reach to the places we want to reach to or deepen into things we want to deepen into. There's lots of time available, but we have to keep sowing those seeds and it will manifest. Think long term, we need to, yeah. So again, that was a great insight from all of you, so amazing. Okay, so we move to the next prompt. uh, and okay, and some of the other insights that come for people in this part is basically the trends in terms of some people realize that, oh, like I have a pattern of peaks and extreme living, extremely busy or completely stuck phases. So I have these years when I was completely stuck, and then these years where I was at peak, uh, doing more than anybody else, and then they observe, okay, why those patterns are happening. So that might be something that you also want to look into your uh, uh, theme flower. Okay, so now is the most important question of this prompt. Basically, so what are you taking with you in the new paradigm? Uh, again, so I want you to just draw these kind of arrows. So we are going from the old paradigm to the new paradigm part of the cone. These arrows, and you can draw as many as you want, and these are basically things you're taking from old paradigm to the new paradigm. Examples of these are, again, things maybe you were seeking, but over the last 7 years you actually got it. Like maybe there was something you wanted to have and you have it now, or maybe there was something you were developing, you wanted, a person you wanted to become and you didn't become in the last 7 years. You maybe very recently, anytime within the last 7 years, it can be a skill you wanted to acquire. It may be things which are always had been inherent to you. So maybe you have always been a very patient kind of a person, always been very kind, or those kind of qualities which come very easily to you, and are inherent emotional things, and which you feel are very going to be a great advantage in the new paradigm as well. These could also, again, inherently, like skills. Maybe writing comes very easily to you, but it's difficult for other people. Like interviewing other people comes very easily to things which come very very easily to you. May not be very easy for rest of the, acknowledge that these are easy for you, and you feel like yes, and these are going to be a huge advantage in the new paradigm. So for the next 7 years, what are some of the things you've either cultivated or were inherent in you that I take that you're taking with you? Okay, I hope the prompt is clear. Feel free to just ask more questions if any at any time. forgot to unmute myself. Yeah. Roshni, you want to share your insight this time first? Yeah.
Yeah, so there's quite a lot.
Uh-huh.
Um, so should I just read it out? If it's okay
Yeah.
with you?
Yeah. Totally. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So like seeking, I've been seeking serenity and this cosmos connection in
Right.
terms of spirituality.
Right.
So that is happening where I can make sense of it and
Yeah.
make sense of self in this world and how to fit in. There
Right.
has been a bit of a struggle there, but right now I feel like, I can be in sync with who I am, have
Yeah.
been felt within,
Yeah.
yeah, and what I
Yeah.
believe in, and
Right.
bringing it out in this world, like
Mm.
I think I have found my place here. So also like I tend to, journal and reflect and introspect. I seek help and I like to know more.
Yeah.
So that's something I want to keep going,
Yeah.
keep doing it.
Yeah.
Um, um, Being compassionate.
Mm.
I've always been an empath, so I know
Yeah.
that I can bring this in um, with focusing on children, nature, and
Yeah.
dogs, and I have avenues to start doing that.
Right.
Yeah, I've always felt that I can think ahead,
Mm.
a little bit of a futuristic approach in terms of thinking,
Yeah.
which appears to be a bit idealistic to many
Yeah.
and would lead to a bit of a mismatch in terms of connect and all that. But
Yeah.
I think I can put that to good use in terms of education and farm work and living and being and spirituality. So like
Yeah.
these things are all falling in place, which was
Yeah.
so abstract and so uncertain and unclear all this while. Yeah.
Right, right. So I really like this very much because this is like giving yourself a permission slip that yes, I am an empath and I fully own it. And I am very good with my mind already thinks very nicely with futuristic ideas, which not everybody's brain is not aligned that way. I'm good at it. I'm owning it, whether others get it or not. That's what I got from what you said. And also that spiritually I've been doing the work from a long time, got it, will continue doing it. So yeah, so this owning up, giving yourself a permission slip, great, great observations as well. I really loved it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, random cues, you want to go now next? Okay, Krapa, you want to go next?
Mm, yeah, for me,
Yeah.
I think one of the insights that I'm having is actually similar to what you just spoke.
Uh-huh.
That I've been contemplating some sort of a career shift, not exactly a shift, but going back to things that I used to do a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
And somewhere I feel that my skills and like inherited skills and the new learning,
Mhm.
now that I'm looking at it in one column,
Yeah.
it somehow feels that it has over the years made me
Mm.
more ready for it. Like most of these things are kind of falling in place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's a great one. That I'm on the path. I'm ready for it. I'm ready, much readier than I was, and things are right where they should be. They're on the path. So yeah, it's
yeah.
just the journey now. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing.
Mm.
Okay, random cues. But are you able to hear me? Yes, perfect.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
The thing, like someone said, I mean, there's a lot here.
yeah,
Like uh, I I don't know where to start. I mean, there are some things which I want to correct with myself, including anger management
uh-huh,
and trying to be more kind, because corporate life has changed me,
yeah,
from what I really am.
yeah,
That's also there.
yeah,
So now that I'm no longer part of a corporate
yeah,
life, or and having taken taken this break, I
yeah,
really feel like I should never go back to
yeah,
that thing. and really focus on, what I really am.
Yeah.
Probably also some of the big corporate stuff I have worked on. I've really felt stuck, even when they are all seen as the forerunners in the industry. They really are not. They're
Yeah.
like big dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Who are very difficult to adapt
Hmm.
to the new thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even coming to the livelihood group is also one of the reasons, where I want. But I really am not clear,
Yeah.
which direction I will take.
Yeah.
But yes, all these things, seeing it on one page, yes, I think something is going to evolve. That's all.
That was amazing, and the reason I think why things are feeling so intense for you, random cues, is because you are in that transition phase, right?
Yeah.
Stages, we said that when you are in that first year of initial year of that change, it always feels very intense. So just leaving the corporate job and just that phase, this is that phase for you, and things are going to look intense, but that's a good realization, because corporate world, there is a programming that happens, which happens with everybody, whether you realize it or not. If you are in corporate world, you're being programmed to some ways, and then you are kind of deprogramming from that, and that's a good thing. And maybe you'll find some companies where your values are completely aligned, or maybe you'll have your own path. But yeah, these are good, very profound realizations, and I wish you best of luck with that, because this, yeah, especially because it's a transition year, so be easy on yourself. um,
Yeah.
Awesome. So, okay, we are almost out of time. And so I'll just quickly give you these, anyways, are the instructions to be done later. So, do the same part, your future part. So, over here, so start with what are some of the life stages you are expecting in the next 7 years. So, maybe you're planning to get married, maybe you are feeling that by this time I'll become a parent, or those kind of things, and think how iffy or how strong you feel about all of this. That's first instruction. So you'll fill these. Maybe you won't be able to fill all 7 years, just 2 to 3 years. That's totally fine, because you keep filling as the years go by. It's a long term kind of a document. Then fill all of these themes, and these themes are all these abstract or essence words like compassion, all the things you want to experience in the new paradigm. Basically, what kind of environment do you want to be surrounded in? So these are, again, these compassion, peace, supported, abundance, whatever your words are. You don't have to be accurate about the years, just fill these bubbles out with all of those things, and see how do you want to deepen into it. So maybe, like for Roshni, maybe it's more spirituality, where you want to study more on. For me, at least, I see, like, if peace is one of my themes, I want to study about peace. Maybe I want to read some books, more books about peace, or things like that. If it's compassion, I want to see what's my way of being compassionate, and uh, how do I want to go about it. Okay. And similarly, the last would be the choices, and the choices could be, I no matter what's happening in the world, I choose to be happy. No matter what's happening in the world, I choose to be dash dash dash. Okay. So these are what it is. And so, okay, it's a wrap from my end. And if you want to drop out, feel free to drop out. And if you want to share something, I'm here for the next 5 minutes. And Isabella just joined. Isabella, we are just at the end of our session. It was a 8:30 to 9:30 1 hour session. So, but I'm glad you're here. So welcome. And like I said, if anybody wants to drop out, feel free to drop out. It's a drop off. It's a wrap. But if you want to share, please keep talking. No worries, Isabella. You want to introduce yourself? We'll be happy to hear.
Hi, I am Isabella. I'm a designer in Washington, D.C. And I was really excited about this session, and I did the time converter, and I don't know how it said 11, but
it happens. But don't worry, I'm having the same session on a Wednesday, on this Wednesday. So I'll share the details on your email ID.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Yay. And I'm happy that at least we can connect.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was daylight savings because I don't think the time converter accounts for that. That's probably it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm hoping Wednesday will work out again well for you. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Do you want to say anything? Words, Krapa, Roshni, RNMQs, and I was super glad to have connected with you all. If you want to stay connected, have a one-on-one chat with me sometime, please feel free to connect with me. I'm just dropping my email ID.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, let's connect sometime. Just, yay.
Deepshika,
Yes, Krapa.
can you tell us a bit about this, or maybe I missed it, like the workshop and what do you do? I mean,
Yes. So I conduct these futures thinking workshops, and okay, so I have several years of corporate experience working with Accenture and Capgemini, and from the last 2 years, I had been mainly focusing on conducting workshops. So I started conducting design thinking workshops, and that I was doing locally to because most of you are from India, from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Doing that for a local community there. And once I finished the series, I wanted to move the conversations to the impact of emerging technologies. And that's when I moved to futures thinking workshops. So for those of you who don't know what futures thinking is, basically it's like we use a lot of frameworks to mainly focus upon how the future would look like. So the tool that you saw, we used it in a personal context, but you can use it for your organization, for client presentations, or for having conversation with your colleagues, and to map out the strategy for your company. So these are the type of workshops I do. Some of the workshops that I've done so far is called Future of Relationships, which is very interesting one. One of the upcoming one is Future of Crime. And then there have been workshops mostly about technology. So AR, VR, around AR, VR, and around blockchain. So yeah, this is what I do. And these workshops are for beginners, like you don't have to have any futures thinking background for joining these. Okay, what is the frequency of these workshops? Okay, so this one that I did, I'm planning to do a 10-part series of this journaling session one. So the next one would be about coming up with 2021 plan for 2021 using another tool. So we'll decide how our next year is going to look like. Yeah. Thank you, Random Cues. Yes, blockchain one, I'll let you know once that happens again. So for this one, it's going to be weekly, just that next week is Diwali. But apart from that, this one, the journaling ones is going to happen every week. Yes.
okay. Thanks a lot. It was a
Thank you.
beautiful session. I'm looking forward to the future ones. You'll email us, or how do we get to know?
Yeah, if the best way would be if you can follow me on Eventbrite, or I'm just dropping my link, website link. One second, everyone. This is the website link, and it has my Eventbrite page, or where you registered. If you can follow that, that's where you can receive all the updates about the upcoming events. Otherwise, on this link itself, yeah, you can drop me a message and then I'll get back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you. But also consider meeting one-on-one sometime. So drop me a mail on this ID that I shared, and then let's
Where
connect
are you
sometime.
based?
I'm in Ujjain right now. Ujjain, Central India.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, if I'm there at that side, definitely. Or if you come to Mumbai.
Yeah, or let's have a Zoom one-on-one.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, Isabella. It was a surprise delight. It was a delight, and and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. And thank you, everybody. And it's a wrap. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.